Put your money intact, put your money intact. Invest and show that your money come back. Put your money intact, put your money intact. Invest and show that your money come back. Everybody say, one child, one youth, one tack. One child, one youth, one tack, 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 tack. Become financially free. Join the abundance community, diaspora city. Yeah, we got global accessibility. Your future, your currency. Everybody say, one child, one youth, one tack. One child, one youth, one tack, 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 tack. Become financially free. Join the Abundance Community Diaspora City. Contact our website or social media for more info. Everybody say, one child, one youth, one tack. One child, one youth, one tack, 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 tack.
Hello, everyone in the TAG community. You are welcome to today's training. My name is Blessing Aliu. I'm so excited as usual, on fire for the mission. We are here again. You are welcome. I welcome every one of you. If you are joining us for the first time in this moving train, this is TAG, the Abundance Community Coin. The journey of this mission was commenced in November 4th, year 2019. And we've been here working stronger and stronger. So thank you for tuning in. And all those of you that are not newbies that have been here in this platform with us, you are welcome. Leaders in the house, you are welcome. So tonight, or today rather, we are having one of our leaders that will be taking us in the training. She's a professor of mathematics, like as I said, you know, joking apart, professor of mathematics, and she's also the executive, director for the country Saint Lucia. That's one of the country in Caribbean island. She's no any other. Her name is Dr. Delia Samuel. My leader, sir, it's a privilege to have you here today. And on behalf of the community, we want to sincerely thank you because we know how zealous you are about this mission. Thank you, madam. The mic is yours.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me to do this training. And yes, mathematics is one of my passions. I have quite a few passions, and I want to say to you, Director, and to anybody who hates mathematics or did not do well in it, you did not have the right teacher, because I think
My
everybody
goodness.
can do
Wow.
mathematics. Um, I always say that I'm born to serve. I have always wanted to make a difference. And my mother said she saw that in me from the beginning, that I've always loved mathematics. I've always wanted to be a teacher, but I've always wanted to make a positive difference in the lives of others. And this is why I do the projects that I do. And when I was first introduced to tech, that is where I saw, that is where I belong, because I saw tech as a way of making a difference, a positive change in the lives of others. And I have gone through many challenges, like I'm sure all of you. I have gone through some of the darkest storms that anyone can experience. But you know what? I have learned to triumph against the odds. It has been a rough road, but within the storms, I like to say I've learned to dance in the rain. And I am a strong believer. I'm very spiritual. I'm a strong believer in God. My favorite scripture verse is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Because I wouldn't
Wow.
be here today without God. I wouldn't be able to take another step again and again, even when I'm tired or I'm not seeing where to go, but I can take another step with God. I'm a very positive thinker. I am somebody who believes in the impossible. I see the glass as half full instead of half empty. I see possibilities. I see that I can instead of I can't. There are some words in my vocabulary, and I tell my children this all the time. Words like hopeless, unworkable, unable, quit. remove that from your vocabulary, because you become those words when you concentrate on them all the time. You think, therefore you are, and they lead to despair. So I am a positive thinker, always looking at the glass as half full. I'm somebody who persists until I succeed, even though the going is rough, even though there is despair around the corner. No, I will persist. I do not think any of us was born to in this world to be defeated. Every one of us was born to be abundant. And so we as a TAC community have to keep our eyes fixed on the goal, the prize, the mission and the vision of this noble enterprise. And I'm so honored to be a part of this community, because I see this community, I see us as a catalyst for positive change. Listen, we are within a powerhouse. And if we allow ourselves to change our thinking and our attitudes, so many mountains can be moved. And this is what I see TAC to be. It's not about
Wow.
making money alone. It's not about being wealthy, but it is an instrument for positive change. Because of TAC, everybody, we can rewrite our stories to become stories of success, stories of abundance. And this should be our story. This is our birthright. And that is why I think these trainings on Saturdays, the audios that we listen to, are so important, because they help us to become who we should be. They help us to transform our thinking, which is again what I see TAC as. I've learned so much in coming into TAC. I always like to describe myself as a sponge, and when people ask me what I mean, I say I'm a sponge, because when you have a sponge, washing dishes, the sponge holds water, it holds soap. So I'm like a sponge, because I like to listen and just soak up all the knowledge that I can receive, because that will enable me to transform my thinking, to change my mind. And so I see myself like a sponge. And that sponge, you can also squeeze out the water from it,
Come on.
because and in that way, as a sponge, squeezing out that water means using the knowledge, all of what we have learned in this community, to transform, to create change. I see
Yes.
us in TAC, this community, we are all creators. And we have to tell ourselves, we can change.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if we believe that we can, then we will. If we believe that we can't, then we won't.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
we need to think positively. Stop, don't focus on despair. Don't focus on negativity. We focus on positivity. And so this is what I am about, and that is why I wanted to give this introduction to let you know why I am in TAC and what I see this community can do for our own communities and for the world. And so this training that I am looking at is called Cryptocurrency 101, and it gives the basics, just the basics. I call it 101 because I'm just scratching the surface. Maybe another training we can look at cryptocurrency 200 or 300, but it just looks at the
Yeah.
basics. And I'm speaking about why cryptocurrency, why it's important, defining useful terms that we may have heard and may not understand what it means. And so as I said, I learned all of this from a course that I taught when I graduated with a PhD, and I taught this course, cryptography and number theory. And this is where I was first introduced to cryptocurrency and the mathematics behind it. And so I am going to share my screen. So what is cryptocurrency? So again, as I said, I'm going into the basics. It is a form of digital money. It is not physical currency. So therefore, instead of a bank account, you have a digital wallet address, and this is where your cryptocurrency is held. So cryptocurrency operates through blockchain technology, and I'm sure you've heard blockchains all the time. So I'll look at blockchains in detail a little later, but in a nutshell, let's look at blockchains as financial transactions databases or ledgers. It's a place where information is stored. Cryptocurrency is a decentralized system. Again, what does that mean? It means that no single entity, no single person, no single organization is in charge of it. And that is the most beautiful thing about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency cannot exist without something that we call the nodes, and I will look at that in detail later. Or I could call the nodes bookkeepers. And cryptocurrency cannot exist without cryptography. And what is cryptography? So that is what I have taught. In a nutshell, I would say simply, it's the art and science of sending and receiving secret messages. So it's the art, it's making codes. Is there some, there's a little distraction?
All right, you too.
Can somebody mute that person,
Okay.
please? Thank you so much.
Muted. Sorry, Doc.
Thank you so much. So it's how you send and receive secret messages, and this is key to maintain the integrity and the security and the anonymity of cryptocurrency. You need cryptography. And so there's a lot of mathematics. I'm not going to go through that, but there's a lot of mathematics and powerful mathematical formulas which would enable that security to be possible. And it has to be very secure. So that is what is cryptocurrency. Let's look at the next slide. So when did it all begin? So the first cryptocurrency was Bitcoin, as we know, and that was developed by Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, that could be a he, a she, what it could be an organization, we don't know. Satoshi Nakamoto, let's just say, is anonymous, an unknown entity, but it was invented in 2008. And the use of Bitcoin was used as a currency in 2009. And El Salvador actually adopted it as a legal tender in 2021. And as you know, since Bitcoin became a currency, it has soared. The price of it has soared. I just checked the price of it today, and I saw that it was $60,475 US for one coin. And I would say this, if I had bought 100 Bitcoins in 2011, say for about $200 US, they would have been worth $12.8 billion in 2021. And I was not smart by then. When I started teaching cryptography, that was right after Bitcoin became a cryptocurrency. I taught cryptography and number theory. And I must admit that I was a naysayer back then. So when I was teaching that course, it was at the university, and I gave my students, instead of giving them a final exam, I told them work on a project dealing with cryptography. And there were some really fantastic projects. And one group of 3, they decided to work on cryptocurrency, something that was very new at the time. And it was only Bitcoin, as you know. And it was a very good presentation. But as I told you, I was a naysayer. I said, oh, this thing, I'm sure, in my mind, I didn't tell them. But I said, oh, I'm sure this thing is not going to work. Bitcoin, that's a scam. That's a scam. So after the presentation, one of the students looked at me, and I told them that was a very good presentation, and I told them, you know, how they did. And one of them looked at me and they said, so Dr. Samuel, are you going to buy a coin, a Bitcoin? I said, why should I? And so they said, but Dr. Samuel, you don't know what's going to happen in the next few years. I said, I don't think I want to do that. It sounds too good to be true. They said, but Dr. Samuel, just buy one. And at that time, it wasn't worth much. Dr. Samuel, just buy one. In 5 years' time, Dr. Samuel, you could be a millionaire. I didn't listen. I was a naysayer. And if I had bought at that time, well, where would I be? Let's not go there. But the thing is, I'm here now, right? I came into TAC late. I'm no longer a naysayer. I know what this is. I know the value of this. And I invested last year. And I have faith in this venture. And I sincerely believe, just like Chief Abundance says, just like Chief of Staff say, just like a number of you say, the greater than Bitcoin is here. And I believe I am where I should be.
Yes.
So again, I say again, we can do this together. If you believe you can, you can. And I like to say this, sometimes some of us may say, we're not seeing where we're going, things are still looking dark. But I like to think of this. Let's say you're driving in a car and you're going from one place to the next in the night, and your car lights are on. The headlights only show you a distance in front of you, only a small distance, but you know your destination. So you keep on going. The light continues one step at a time, and you will eventually reach your destination. So it is with TAC. We keep our eyes on the prize. We keep our eyes on the mission and the vision, and we take one step at a time, and we will get there if we believe and we do the necessary. Let's go on to the next slide. So, why cryptocurrency? So, to understand that, let's look at the fiat versus cryptocurrency. So again, what is fiat? So fiat money is just what we are dealing with now. It's the legal tender, like the coins, the banknotes. And the thing is, that type of money only has value because authorities like the government, the central bank, all of these authorities say so. So I want you to consider this scenario. Think of the fiat scenario, which is what we are used to. So let's say you want to deposit, say, $20 in your bank. You're going to deposit it. Your bank, the central bank, the government, for example, will confirm that this $20 that you have deposited has moved into your account. But what is the problem with that system? And a lot of us have experienced these problems. There are certain problems. So for example, transactions can be blocked. A lot of us have experienced that, where our accounts have been blocked and held up. You can lose access to your money. There are expensive transactions and maintenance fees, and transactions can be slow. The thing is, with the fiat scenario, which is going to be a thing of the past, financial inequality is growing. Now let's look at cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency.
Excuse me, Doc.
Yes.
Doc.
Yes, Director.
Yes, let me ask. I don't know whether I'm the only one that is not hearing you well. Maybe you need to reposition. Yes, leaders in the house, can you unmute? Am I the only one that could not hear her well?
You are the only one.
Yes, you're the only
one.
I
think you are the only one.
Okay, good.
You are the only one. Very, very well. Fantastic.
Good,
very loud
good.
And clear.
That's okay. Please, everybody, mute yourself again. Thank you so much. So I know the problem is from my end. Doc, please, because what you are saying is so loaded, I don't want any of us to miss it. If I don't get it right now, I will re-listen to the whole thing later. Please keep on firing.
Okay, thank you, Director. Thank you, Director. So now let's look at the cryptocurrency scenario. That's digital currency. What do you need? An internet connection. As I said, instead of a bank account, what do you have? A digital wallet address. So your records are now stored in computers which are connected to a cryptocurrency network. And we'll speak about that later. But what is important about the cryptocurrency scenario is that there is no middleman. It is a decentralized system. So there's no government, there are no banks control. You are in charge of your money. So again, I ask, why cryptocurrency? Because there are so many benefits associated with it. What are some of the benefits? I'll just look at a few. It reduces corruption. We all know what happens when we give a lot of power to one or a few persons or entities. We have experienced that in the Caribbean, and I'm sure you in Africa have also experienced that. The chances when that happens is that there is a greater chance that power will be abused. Cryptocurrency resolves that issue of giving absolute power to one or a few entities. So instead, it distributes the power among many people. And these people are the members of the cryptocurrency network. Another benefit, it eliminates extreme money printing. Now, we know what happens when a government prints a lot of money. And in the United States, that has happened. When a government is faced with economic challenges, they print money, a lot of money. What does that do? It devalues the currency and inflation skyrockets. Here in the United States, we are dealing with very high inflation because of that. That is the situation presently. But with cryptocurrency, there's a limited set of coins available. So when all are in circulation, the entity behind the blockchain, which I will explain in a little while, has no easy way to just simply create more coins. There is a complex structure for that. Another benefit is that you are in control of your money, as I said before. With fiat money, we have given away our control to banks, the government. They can do whatever they want with our accounts. They can freeze our bank accounts. They can delay our access to our own funds. But with cryptocurrency, you and only you have control of your funds. Only you can access them, well, unless somebody steals them from you. And another benefit is that it serves the unbanked. So there are people, by this I mean is that cryptocurrency is global. There are people in this world who may have little access to payment systems like banks. So cryptocurrency would spread that digital currency around the globe. Anyone with a computer, a mobile phone can perform transactions. Let's move on to the next slide. So let us look at the cryptocurrency process and let's see how it works. So I want us to look at a simple scenario. Let's say you want to go to the store and you want to buy something, be it jewelry. I'm gonna say shoes, because shoes, that's a favorite thing of mine. That is another one of my passions, shoes. So I'm going to buy a pair of shoes. So you want to buy yourself a pair of shoes. So let's look at the traditional way. Yes, let's say you want to use your debit card. You give it to the cashier, or you want to go through one of the point of sale systems. Okay? So the store runs the card through, checks with the bank as to whether you have enough funds. The bank says, yes, you have the funds. So the bank updates the records to show that that transaction has been made, to show that funds have been deducted from your account. And the bank takes a cut, of course, because the bank is the middleman. Now let's look at the cryptocurrency way. You want to buy something, you give your cryptocurrency details. So what happens then is that everyone in the network is asked to check whether you have enough money. So all the record holders, and these are the nodes, all of the nodes in the network would check the records to see whether you have the cash, whether you have the money, sorry. So you have the money? Yes. So each node would give a thumbs up. And so after that, the node would update their records to show that the transactions has been made. And so this is how it works. You want to use cryptocurrency to purchase something. Your crypto network and your crypto wallet check your previous transactions and your records to ensure that you have enough cryptocurrency. And how is this done, by the way? By cryptography. You see where the cryptography is coming. And the part of cryptography that is used in cryptocurrency is public and private keys, or public and private ciphers. That's another very long story. So it is checked and your transaction is encrypted. What does that mean? Encrypted. It is coded. It is made secret. And the transaction is then broadcast to the network and it is queued up. It is placed in a queue to be added to the blockchain. Remember what the blockchain is? That is where the information is stored. It's like a ledger. So the transactions are then recorded on the ledger and mining occurs. Now, what I want to do now is to look at blockchains. So I've been mentioning blockchains, and I'm sure you've heard people like the Chief of Staff, like Chief Abundance, and others mention blockchains. So what are they? So cryptocurrency relies on blockchain technology, and that, as I said, decentralized. No single entity is in charge of it. So blockchain comprises nodes. In other words, nodes make up a blockchain. And what is a node? It's simply an electronic device that does all the bookkeeping in the network. So these nodes make the decentralization possible. So a node is something like a device like a computer, like a cell phone. So what are blockchains? Simply put, they are distributed databases or ledgers that a group of persons control and that store and share information. So it is a peer-to-peer system with no central authority managing the flow of data. Blockchains contain records, they contain histories of transactions. And records are added to the blockchains, as I said before, by transactions. So if someone is making a transaction, means that they want to add that record to the blockchain. And so all the users in the network who have some type of validation control would verify the proposed transaction. And so let me see if I should look at, let's look at the flow chart. I think that's the best thing to look at now. That might explain it better. So a user requests a transaction. If you look at the flow chart, a request is transmitted to the network. The network validates the transaction. If no, you don't have enough funds, then that transaction is kicked out. If yes, the funds are available, that transaction is added to the block. The block is chained to other blocks, and the transaction is confirmed. Now, blockchains use cryptography, again, to allow each person in the network to manage the ledger in a secure way. And I hope you're understanding now how cryptography is key to the security of a cryptocurrency network. Now, remember a while ago, I said one of the beautiful things about cryptocurrency is that the central control is removed. So the question is, if central control is removed, how is the data integrity maintained? So simply put, the network is a large distributed network of independent users. And these independent users, we can categorize them as computers or nodes. So remember nodes on computers, the same thing. They make up the network and they are in more than one location. So this is how the integrity of the data is maintained. Now let us look at mining. That is another, That is another part of the blockchain technology that is very important, and I'm sure you've heard this word before. So mining is a process that enables users to extract new cryptocurrencies from the system, new coins. So what happens? So how is this done? The owners of the nodes in the network, they contribute their computing resources to store and validate the transactions. Now, when they contribute whatever the computing resources they have, this gives them a chance to earn a reward. So what happens is that those who are mining, and we're going to call them the miners, they solve powerful cryptographic puzzles. Now, these puzzles are not easy. They're not like the little jigsaw puzzles or crossword puzzles. They are cryptographic puzzles. And anything dealing with cryptography is difficult. So they solve these cryptographic puzzles in order to add transactions to the blockchain through mining. And when they solve these puzzles, that process helps them to extract new coins from the system. So how is this done? So the miner's computer, or you, let's say you're the miner, so your computer guesses an answer to the puzzle. Now, you have to try to make as many guesses as possible. You guess and guess until you get the correct answer. Now, for you to make so many guesses for such a difficult puzzle, you need a powerful computer. The more powerful the computer, the more guesses you can make in a second. Now, we are talking about seconds. We are not talking like hours or days. We're talking seconds. So the more powerful your computer, the more guesses you can make in a second. And this would increase your chances of winning the game. Now, let's say you win. You win the game. That means you earn coins. And you are granted the right to update the blockchain. So that is your reward. Now, there are different types of blockchains. I will just look at, and correct me, I'm Chief of Staff or Chief Abundance. The proof of stake blockchain, is that what the blockchain that TAC is using? Proof of stake?
No, ours is proof of authority.
Proof of authority.
Yes, we were using proof of stake on our previous exchange, but now we're using proof of authority, which in this process now, an authority with some amount of coins will be selected to be validators on the network. It's almost the same. It's almost the same like proof of stake. You know, in proof of stake, you have the more coins you have, the more mining power, and the more rewards you have.
Yes.
So and anybody with the amount of coins can have depending on the amount of coins they have, can have a mining power on the network. But in the proof of authority, you have to be authorized by the network to be able to validate transactions. So it's not just everyone in the network. So somebody has to, you need to have there has to be an authority that will do the validation on the network. This is somewhat complex, but I just hope you understand.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I guess the advantage of this, with the same as proof of stake, is that it eliminates the wastage of computing power, right? It eliminates because all of the electricity and computing power that will enable you to make the random guesses. If you are only a few people are granted the authority to mine, then that would reduce the wastage of such computing power. So I think, is that it? I think that's all I have. This is, as I said, just I've just scratched the surface and just looked at different terms and just looked at cryptocurrency 101. And that's it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Put your money intact, put your money intact, invest and show that your money come back. Put your money intact, put your money intact, invest and show that your money come back. Everybody say, one child, one youth, one tack, one child, one youth, one tack, 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 tack. Become financially free. Join the abundance community, diaspora city. Yeah, we got global accessibility. Your future, your currency. Everybody say, one child, one youth, one tack. One child, one youth, one tack, 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 tack. Become financially free. Join the abundance community, diaspora city. Contact our website or social media for more info. Everybody say, one child, one youth, one tack. One child, one youth, one tack.